Hello my loves and welcome back to my sketchbook. Today I'm using this Handbook Drawing Co. Travelogue sketchbook for the very first time, painting with gouache and delving more into the limited palette that I experimented with at the end of last year, because after using the Zorn palette of red, black and yellow ochre to paint a landscape, I thought it'd be fun to see how well it worked with skin tones, which is I believe what Anders Zorn primarily use these colours for. Even though I don't paint people very often, I think it's still important to stretch that muscle from time to time. I get at least one comment on every video from someone who misses my portrait drawings and paintings, but honestly, I paint the things that I like seeing and the things that I find interesting. Landscapes and plants and nature are just constantly inspiring to me in a way that portraits really aren't. But that said, my interests shift all the time, and it's nice to change things up to keep my creative sessions feeling fresh and challenging. So I'm not completely averse to painting people here and there, and maybe my work will pivot again in the future. I'm always just open to following where my art takes me. It might make sense career-wise to figure out your niche, be the go-to portrait artist or the landscape connoisseur, and skill-wise to hone in on like one particular aspect of your craft and master it. But a huge part of creativity is about exploration, whether it be useful in a practical sense for you in the future or not. Consuming different types of media, trying new things, experiencing novel ideas, it all goes into enriching your work in some way, and that has to be valuable as well. So this is my sort of tentative reach back into the world of portraits, because hands do count in that category, I guess. And this was hard. I talk a lot about not worrying about how your painting is going and just enjoying the process, but this page reminded me that it's a lot easier to enjoy the process when what you're making looks moderately decent, at least. There is something about hand drawings, for me, they just don't look right until the very end when you've added all the little details, and a lot of the time, even then, for me at least, there's something kind of alien about them. I was also still wrapping my head around this colour palette. It's been so long since I've used black in my paintings. I usually mix alizarin crimson and Prussian blue together for the darkest colour in my paintings, so getting to grips with black, trying to darken colours without washing them out and muddying the whole thing, it was hard. This was one of those reminders to just go with it. It might look like a muddy, mangled mess in the moment, but it's not over till it's over. With every new hand that I painted, I honestly spent most of my time thinking, this one is terrible, there is no saving this. But I just carried on, adjusting as I went, trying to figure out what was going wrong and how I could rectify it. Was it the white that I was using? Was that making the colours too washed out? Or were my brush strokes not being precise enough? I just kept going, and I got there in the end. I know that it'll take a lot more practice for me to be confident with stuff like this, but I'm at least a little bit closer to figuring it out, closer than I was before I started this sketchbook spread. So my challenge for you lovely person watching, maybe you can step out of your comfort zone next time you jump into your sketchbook, study something that is so not you, pet portraits or caricatures or landscapes if you never do those, or portraits, and if you're like me and you want to cheat a bit, just a body part, or skin tones. Eyes are always really fun to paint, and noses and ears are great to sketch too. But that'll do for this sketchbook session. I hope you feel inspired to do at least a little something creative today as well, and I will see you soon for the next one.